Fuel prices are going up. Because of the demand from India and China, the increase in prices is here to stay. We need alternatives here and now for better MPG. Engineers have known for years that injecting hydrogen and oxygen into the fuel system makes for a finer mist of fuel droplets. And now that basic technology has been applied to improve efficiency of combustion for both petrol and diesel engines. This means you get better miles per gallon. This is rapidly becoming a mainstream technology, with people applying it to all sorts of vehicles, from agricultural tractors to marine diesels, and not just high mileage cars or delivery vehicles. You can now buy properly manufactured kits that you can install onto your own vehicle. And we'll be showing you how to install these kits into your vehicle, and also show you the results from people who have already had one of these kits fitted. Doug, tell us a little bit about yourself and your company.
Okay. We're in business primarily, we buy late model Jaguar cars, and we strip the bits and sell the bits to our customers, and we sell new bits to them. And the reason we got into the water for fuel business is that we've got some customers with these huge great V12 engines, and they come up to us and say, I can't take my car out anymore, fuel is so expensive. And I said, well, I've been reading about this new technology, this water fuel conversions, and I had a look at that and thought, yeah, it looks pretty good. So we experimented with it on a few V12 engines, and from there we told our customers that we've got this, do you want to try it? And that's how it began really for us. It's the Jaguar V12 drivers. It was thought of around about 1898, right. And it was...
Again, when was that?
1898.
So...
That was when it was originally conceived. In idea, it wasn't scientifically proved at that time. It was developed up to quite a good point around about the 1930s, 1935, 36. There were some good developments of it. It was actually implemented during the Second World War. The British used it in Spitfires over in the Russian front, and the Russians were using it in their tanks as well. A variation of it to try to make the fuel, which was very restricted for obvious reasons during the war, to try to make it, be used a little bit longer.
But why do we not know about it? I mean, who's stopping the message getting out?
Right. Well, what happened after the Second World War? Fuel became so cheap, ridiculously cheap. There was just no drive for it. As I say, what's happened is because fuel's increased so dramatically over the last 12 months, that's where the drivers come. It's just because simply fuel was so cheap.
It sounds absolutely fascinating, but be honest, is it a scam or does it really work, Doug?
There is a problem in that people are making really extravagant claims for it, and you can read about people getting 70% improvement in their mileage, their MPG and that sort of thing. We don't make that claim. We say to customers you can reasonably expect between 10 and 25% increase on your MPG. That's what some people guarantee that. I don't. We just say between 10 and 25. The reports we're getting back from customers are in fact a lot higher. We're getting cars like a Mazda MX-5, he went from 24 to 44. We've got a VW Passat, he's got about 38% improvement. We even had a little smart car roadster that came in, and he's doing around about 55, but after it he's doing 72 miles per gallon.
What other types of vehicles can the kit be applied to?
The kits can be fitted to any type of vehicle. They can be powered by petrol, diesel, biofuel, LPG. We're fitting it in cars primarily, and it's not the great big 4x4s either. We've fitted it into a smart car. We've got some people coming in from Malaysia that want to know if it fits onto motorbikes and scooters, and it does. I didn't do the installation, but a colleague up in Manchester has put it on a motorbike, and it's working very well for him. We've got farmers down south that have been telling us the figures that they're paying for their fuel costs, which are stunning to me when they were telling me the figures. They're experimenting on tractors and combine harvesters. We've had a fella down in Kingston-on-Thames, he's fitted it into a barge. We've had a naval architect come through to say, will it work in the marine environment? Now they talk about tons of fuel, not gallons of fuel. And they're experimenting with it as well. So it's basically any internal combustion type engine.
And also, what has been the response from the majority of your customers to date?
We've not had a single complaint. We've had feedback, unsolicited, absolutely unsolicited. The smart car fella was the one that really tickled me, because I thought he was getting good MPG anyway.
Yeah.
But when he came back and said he was getting 72 miles per gallon, and he was doing proper tests as well. We've had a guy with a Porsche 911.
Yeah.
He wasn't interested in the MPG.
Right.
He wanted the brake horsepower.
Yeah.
He put it onto a rolling road, and he could not believe it. He had a Porsche 911, and he got an extra 10 brake horsepower out of that thing. So the feedback we're getting is really positive.